Good evening. We're going to go ahead and start this meeting this evening. Thank you for being here. We're first going to have a Pledge of Allegiance by Eric Woodhouse, and after Eric, we'll have an inspirational thought by Lindsay Nye.
Repeat after me. I pledge allegiance
Is Lindsay here yet? Are you Lindsay? Lindsay, come on up. We have a microphone right here for you.
Rachel Naomi Raymond is a physician, teacher, and author who has spent nearly 30 years caring for people with cancer and her families. Here is her reflection on connection. The most basic and powerful way to connect with another person is to listen. Just listen. Perhaps the most important thing we can ever give to each other is our attention. A loving silence often has far more power to heal and to connect other than the most well-intentioned words. And that's all I have to say. Hopefully we can listen to each other. Thank you.
Lindsay, thank you so much. What a great reminder for all of us this evening. We have extra people here this evening, and tonight we're going to be honoring some great people from the Timberline area. And so as the Board of Education, it's important for us to recognize various accomplishments made by students, employees, and patrons from throughout Alpine School District. And as we honor the individuals and groups this evening, we acknowledge the families that are here this evening as well with them and who have helped them achieve their goals. And so we want to thank you for the support you have offered to those that we're going to be recognizing at this time, and we really do appreciate your attendance here tonight. I would like to invite Julie Price, the principal of Timberline, to come up and share with us and announce some great teachers and volunteers that you have in your school. Julie.
Well, thank you. What an honor. We are excited to celebrate several people from our building. So as I read your name, if you wouldn't mind coming up, and then we'll read a short piece about each of these individuals. So the first I'm doing together, which is Mike Maloof and Cami Mappin. So Cami and Mike, I can't even tell you how valuable they are to us. But here's what we came up with. They're both part-time teachers and part-time PLC coaches, positively impacting every aspect of our school community. Their work and leadership, guiding teachers, supporting student learning, and aligning our daily practice with our school's highest priorities is critical to our success at Timberline Middle School. Through collaboration, reflection, and encouragement, they empower teachers to grow in their craft and continually refine instruction in ways that truly impact students. They create spaces where curiosity thrives, where data becomes insight, and where challenges turn into opportunities for innovation. In addition, their participation in school leadership ensures that our vision for excellence is lived out in every classroom. Their commitment to teamwork reminds us that when educators support one another, students benefit the most. Lori Jensen. Yes, please. I have to do a photo. Lori's our financial secretary. She's meticulous and thorough and approaches all of her work with exceptional detail, ensuring everything is accurate and in compliance. She's kind to everyone and is always willing to help wherever there is a need. She's truly outstanding. Sunny Wright. Sunny is a dedicated teacher assistant who works tirelessly helping students with their academics, often going the extra mile to ensure their success. Her ability to genuinely care and connect with students, combined with her readiness to lend a hand wherever needed, makes her indispensable as an asset to Timberline. We have two PTA volunteers, so we'll bring them up together, Melissa McCoy and Lacey Lawrence. So Melissa consistently steps up to help with a smile and a positive attitude. This year, she's been supporting PTSA lunchtime humanitarian service projects and lending a hand with hospitality. She has been fantastic and always willing to put in the extra time. Lacey Lawrence has been a dedicated PTSA volunteer at Timberline for years, consistently following through and supporting events. This year, she took on an opportunity to take over the hospitality position late to fill in when someone couldn't do it. And so we appreciate that because that is super valuable at Timberline. Now we'd like to recognize some students. Hannah Barris. So these students were nominated by their teachers, and we did an anonymous nomination on purpose. We just wanted to see, and all of these students came multiple times, and we appreciate their teachers and their willingness to share. About Hannah, she exemplifies the spirit of a grizzly through her quiet kindness, responsibility, and deep compassion for others, consistently seeking to support those who may be struggling. Over the past 3 years in Hope Squad, she has shown remarkable growth, bravery, and resourcefulness, making her an invaluable member of that team. Jenna Bodley. Jenna is a bright, responsible, and motivated student who brings genuine enthusiasm and positivity to the classroom, consistently going above and beyond in both her work and her support of others. Her love for learning, especially in Chinese language and culture, combined with her kindness and quiet leadership, makes her a valued and inspiring presence in our school community. Jenna. Connor Campbell. Connor is a kind and inclusive student who treats others with respect and makes everyone feel welcome. He consistently demonstrates the values of the Grizzly Guide by listening thoughtfully and reaching out to others. Ava Esplin. Ava shows the Grizzly spirit by being responsible and brave in class, working hard to complete her assignments and asking for help when needed. She also supports her classmates by sharing her knowledge and helping them when they are unsure. Great job, Ava. Kate Hafen. Did Kate make it? Oh, yes, good. Come on up. Kate is a friendly and respectful student who always shares a smile and makes others feel welcome. Through her kindness and inclusive attitude, she consistently exemplifies the values of the Grizzly Guide. Great job, Kate. Max Lee. Max has embodied the Grizzly spirit since transferring to Timberline, confidently embracing his identity and openly sharing his strengths. In just one term, he's built strong friendships and become a positive role model to those who are around him. Riker Nilsson. Riker is a kind, cheerful student who goes out of his way to make others feel seen and appreciated. On Valentine's Day, he hands out flowers and chocolate to his peers, brightening the days of both students and staff members at Timberline. Way to go, Riker. It should be noted that all of those little paragraphs were actually written by their teachers, which is really fun. A couple of things, of course, I put together some things to read, and then I got thinking, you know what, let's just share from the heart for just a minute. So what a privilege to be the principal at Timberline Middle School. As you can see by the teachers and our support staff, our PTSA, as well as our students. Just a true privilege and an opportunity, and I'm so grateful for that. Timberline, one of the things we're most proud of is we truly are an inclusive school. We really work hard on our focus of our core values related to the Grizzly Guide, and you heard several of those in those paragraphs that were read. Our Grizzly Guide consists of respectful, resourceful, responsible, and brave. And we spend a lot of time focusing on those to make sure that those skills are being implemented not only at our school, but they're transferable to skills outside of our school. We have a positive environment that's fostered by such passionate and dedicated faculty and staff members who generally care about the whole child, and we're so appreciative of them. And again, what an opportunity and thrill it is to work with them. We do strive for excellence in academics, and we just finished the data for term 1, and we had 654 students out of 1,304, which is just under 51% of our students get a 3.8 or above, which is fantastic. Now, some may look at that as, oh, it's just grades, but actually we spend a lot of time with our school-wide goals, and that first one being making sure that every content area has essentials with the focus of deeper learning, which is the 6 C's. And through those implementation by our teachers, we are really seeing our students excel in the classroom, and we're excited about that. We also are working often on the connection piece. We've spent some time over the past few years working on connection between teacher and teacher. After COVID, that was difficult. You know, everyone was separated, and we have spent a lot of time working on that. Last year, our goal was around teacher to student or student to teacher, as far as making sure that we're connecting and building those trusting relationships. And then this year, we have a focus of student to student, making sure that we are creating opportunities within the classroom to have students connect with each other and build those trusting relationships. Once again, Timberline is a great place to be, and it is because of the people and our community that are not only within our building, but outside of our building. And again, I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be their principal.
Thank you so much, Principal Price. We are so grateful for her. She's an extraordinary principal. And on behalf of the school board, thank you and congratulations, and thank you for being exceptional being here. If you have an agenda, on our agenda this evening, you'll notice that we are in need of a public hearing. And so this is a perfect opportunity and a segue. If you feel like you need to leave and you want to grab your kids and run and go eat, you are more than welcome. This is now the time that you can leave, and you're more than welcome to stay for the public hearing as well. I now declare the public, just a moment. Before we start our public hearing, we need to have a motion to adjourn our board meeting before we start our public hearing. I'll entertain a motion.
I motion we adjourn.
Second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion from Julie King and a second by Mark. Do we need to do an individual vote? No? All in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, it's unanimous. I now declare the public hearing open for the possible boundary adjustments between Black Ridge Elementary, Brookhaven Elementary, Pony Express Elementary, Silver Lake Elementary, and Thunder Ridge Elementary. We do have some public comments this evening, those of you that have signed up for a public comment. We will first hear from Lo Sheffield. Is Lo here? Yeah. Did I say your name correctly? Okay. After Lo, we'll have Sarah Payne.
All right, good evening. My name is Lo Sheffield, and here with me is Tara Barrett and Rachel Barrett, and Rachel Larson, excuse me, and we live in Quail Hill. And I actually came tonight, actually prepared with a proposal for a third option, what I hoped would become an option C, but an option has since been added, and so I first wanted to thank you for considering with the feedback you've received. It does mean a lot to us, and we still want to hand out that version, not because the maps or numbers align anymore, but because many of the data-driven insights, considerations, and priorities I worked through and reflected are in it for you to review. While you as the experts have since refined and perfected what this new option C looks like, the heart behind my proposal is the same, of maintaining feeder alignment and balancing numbers and prioritizing safety. In conversations with you this morning, Julie and Eric, I saw you here as well, I learned that even within the district, there's uncertainty about what happens next. Julie this morning mentioned that a boundary study could happen in 2026, and while I heard otherwise at Thunder Ridge last week that no additional studies are planned to be when the new high school opens in 2028. That uncertainty matters because families are trying to plan not just for next year, but for the next 5. And we can't base those decisions on possible future studies or potential schools. We have to make the best choice we can with the facts in front of us. And that is why I support option C, and in less than 24 hours with minimal exposure, have a petition with 102 people and counting who also agree with option C, which I can provide for you. Option C keeps enrollment balanced and growth projections on track while maintaining logical feeder alignment so neighborhoods stay together and kids move forward with familiar faces. But it allows those who must move to move once and not twice, which matters deeply for children's emotional stability and friendships. It also makes the most sense from a safety perspective. Under options A and B, many students, including our area, would walk nearly half a mile down a busy, high-traffic corridor, Pony Express, with multiple conflict points and no continuous sidewalk protection, such as barriers between this highly busy road and the sidewalk. Option C is the only option that instead limits that exposure to a single safe crossing at one intersection, a far more manageable and currently existing at Pony Express, I'll add, and less dangerous route for young students. For many parents, that difference alone is the line between feeling safe and feeling terrified to send their kids on a walk. I know there's no perfect boundary change, and I know that this process has been very emotional for everyone, and I know I also don't have all the answers. But option C gives us the most balanced, data-supported, and human solution that I've personally seen thus far, and one that honors both the district's responsibility to manage growth and us as parents hope to protect stability for our children. And thank you again so much for listening and for adapting and continuing to consider putting the people behind these numbers. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lo. Sarah Payne. After Sarah, we will have Andrea Gatham.
First, I want to thank you guys. I was able to attend the meeting last week at Thunder Ridge in Saratoga Springs, and I had a great opportunity to speak with many people. I felt like those who were meeting with me were really open to my ideas and my feedback, and the new Proposal C really reflects that my concerns and issues were heard. My children are not within the boundaries that are being considered for move, but it does affect my community and my friends. I really appreciate that safety has been considered. I appreciate that those bus routes are still available for the students that need them most, and that traffic will not be increased on Pony Express Parkway, where that's already a pinch point issue in the mornings. I also really appreciate that it's going to keep elementaries within the same feeder schools to the middle school. I think that that's critical in the development of that age group, that they're not experiencing a big shift in who they're going to attend school with, and that they're still going to have access to the same friends. I feel like this does a better job of dividing up the school boundary with different housing types based on housing styles that tend to have families stay in them longer term. It's going to provide better parent support and a better volunteer base over time to keep the multifamily housing more distributed among different schools so that they're not experiencing so much turnover. And I think that's really important to this community, especially in an area where there's so much growth. As a single mom with 3 kids, I just want to make sure that there's additional support available to those who are experiencing this change. I know that change is hard, And I hope that from an emotional standpoint that these schools who are taking on kids who are experiencing this change, that they are going to have additional resources there to help make these children feel welcome, to be able to address the shift that they're going through, especially for those that have moved recently. And from a growth aspect, as I've lived within the Silver Lake and Mount Saratoga communities for the last 13 years, I do feel like this option provides a better boundary location for the growth that continues to go on in the Mount Saratoga area by taking on more of the eastern side of Mount Saratoga Boulevard. I feel like as there's more growth within Thunder Ridge, that boundary is a little bit more flexible to be able to take on some growth back over to the Silver Lake side as these homes continue to be built. I appreciate the school district. I appreciate that they've been open to parents, and I feel like we've been heard in so many ways. With this new boundary, it's affecting fewer families, fewer children, and I do feel like overall it's a change that has a lot more support, and I appreciate you all for taking the extra time to do this right.
Thank you, Sarah. Andrea. After Andrea, we will hear from Chris Russin.
Okay, I don't have anything eloquent prepared. Very impressive presentation. I was looking at the map and felt very sad that I could not see what was presented. But anyways, I just wanted to quickly share, I have been privy to attend several meetings discussing these boundary changes, and I actually just wanted to publicly thank all of those that have been involved. I know this has been a very complex issue. There's been a lot of factors, and it is not helpful that Eagle Mountain and Saratoga Springs have vetted so many houses and made this so complicated. So I just wanted to publicly thank those that have put the boots to the ground and really done their research, gone to the different school sites, seen the sizes of the sites, talked to the principals, talked to the parents. I have just been very impressed by the way that this has been conducted, and I just wanted to publicly thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. Chris, and after Chris, we will hear from Preston Hurst.
Hello, everybody. That's a little short. My name is Chris Russin, and I live in the Quail Hill neighborhood as well. Just a little background, I work in technology. I study and take actions on data for a living. 2 boundary proposals were released about 2 weeks ago. A new proposal was sent out this afternoon from a resident that we just heard about, and not a board member. And this is now an official option for the boundary proposal that was also updated this afternoon. I am one of the fewer families and fewer children impacted by this new proposal. A data set can tell many stories and be interpreted in distinct ways. I and several neighbors that I recently talked to in the last couple hours, because that's all I've had notice, are concerned that the proposal was accepted with no notice and that the other but 2 boundary proposals may not have been as thoroughly explored. If the board is accepting another option from a resident, I would expect that the primary data sets used for the proposals, including projections, should be available to the residents to be able to study, understand, and in turn, propose to the board. The 3 proposals move the longest standing residents out of the Thunder Ridge boundaries, where they have established relationships with not only fellow students, but with faculty through parent helpers, and their voices have helped shape what Thunder Ridge is today. I ask that additional transparency be given in the decision-making for the proposals, allowing additional resident proposals using the same data available in the original assessment. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Preston.
All right. First off, I want to kind of repeat what a lot of people have said. Thank you so much for all the efforts that you guys go through. I know a lot of time and thought has gone into these. I understand it's not easy. Boundary changes can never make everybody happy. There's always going to be people that are upset, and there's always going to be people that are going to struggle with the decision at the end of the day, and it's a hard thing to deal with. So I appreciate all of you for being able to put forth the time and effort in this. In reviewing the options, I found that options A and B both present feeder school issues. That to us has been the biggest issue on the plate. We understand that boundary changes are necessary. It's going to affect somebody, we get that. But if one of the larger issues can be avoided, why not avoid it? It's very easy to see that peer continuity or a lack of peer continuity as children go through school has a negative effect on both their mental health, depression, anxiety, and on their schooling and their academic performance. So again, if one of these can be avoided, why not avoid it? I have heard many times through discussions and comments that other schools deal with this and other schools have it. I get that, but I don't feel like that's an acceptable reason to say just because other people deal with it, let's make it the go-to and it's going to be okay. Again, if something can be avoided that is negative, we should avoid it. Option C appears to be heading in the right direction, and it is very close to a good solution, I think. However, I feel the latest option C that was presented was oddly aggressive. And I'm not saying this was intentional, but it almost feels as though it was intended to be so over the top and disproportionate to Silver Lake in the number of shifting students and the number of students shifting out of Thunder Ridge, that it would push people to say that's not a good option and go straight back to A and B. I feel like the option that Lowe put forth is a much more balanced option and keeps everything a lot just more balanced. I'm confused as to why we only look at the large blocks of the neighborhood, and why we don't take a little bit more nuanced approach and consider cutting lines slightly differently. So, thank you for the time, and again, thank you for all you do.
Thank you, Preston. That is all that we have that have signed up for public comment. Is there someone else here this evening that would like to speak to the boundaries or give other comment regarding the boundaries? All right. Thank you, parents, for coming this evening and sharing those thoughts and feelings with us. It's important for us as board members to hear that from you, and we know that you traveled a little ways to be here this evening, so we appreciate your time and effort in being here with us. Thank you. I now declare the public hearing closed. We will now continue with the agenda of our board meeting this evening. We now have a 30 minutes, up to 30 minutes set aside for public comment. And this is a wonderful opportunity for patrons that live within the Alpine School District boundary to share their thoughts and feelings with us. A sign-up sheet was outside before the meeting, and it was available just prior, allowing up to 10 parents and giving them the opportunity to speak. Those living outside of ASD and those who were unable to sign up before all the slots were full can submit written comments at alpineschools.org/schoolboard. And also scan the QR code in the lobby, and that will also direct you to the form. As you are called up, you know what? Well, there is no one to call up. So, proof, there is no one signed up. So we will go ahead and skip the portion of community comments. All right, we will now go to our, we need to approve the minutes of our meeting. And I'll entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
Approve the minutes. Pardon me. I move that we approve the minutes.
I second the motion.
Board Member Wilson gave the motion, and Board Member Clement with a second. All those in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
It is passed. All right, now we will go ahead and go to our routine business, and I will turn the time over to Superintendent Smith.
Thank you. We have just one item tonight for routine business, and it's a couple of minor adjustments to school land trust plans at Sage Hills Elementary, Silver Lake Elementary, and Trailside Elementary. And they're focused on the goals that the schools have set and just some minor adjustments to achieve those goals. And I would recommend the board approve those amendments.
I'll recommend a motion to approve those amendments.
I move that we approve the routine business.
Second.
We have a motion to approve the routine business by Board Member Clement and a second by Board Member Peterson. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, it passes. Superintendent Smith, we have some resolutions and action items.
Yes, for your consideration tonight, we have one resolution, 2025-015. This is a public utility easement for a cell tower at Cedar Valley High School. It encompasses about 0.08, I believe, acres. Let me double check. 0.081 acres. Thank you, Jason. And about a 10-foot easement to make this happen, and would recommend the board approve that easement.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the action item this evening, which is a resolution 2025-015. Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve resolution 2025-015, the public utility easement for Cedar Valley High School cell tower between ASD and Rocky Mountain Power.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Board Member King and a second by Board Member Bateman. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, I believe that is unanimous. That is all the action items that we have, but now we are going to open this up if there's any board member or superintendent reports this evening.
So I had the opportunity to attend the Timpanogos Band Festival last weekend. Rob was there too. He helped hand out awards. And I guess it was impressive to me. First of all, we had some great schools from our district that received awards. I guess I have to highlight Pleasant Grove, which won the 5A Scholastic Award. And then in the 6A Open, we had American Fork that came in first, but Cedar Valley that came in second. Third was Westlake, and fourth was Skyridge. And I just am so proud of the band programs in the district. I was particularly impressed watching Cedar Valley. That program has not been around that long, and they are phenomenal. They have a huge band. The students are all involved, and they're exacting in their performance. And I would just like to congratulate all of these schools. Interestingly enough, my wife actually marched in the American Fork marching band a few years ago when John Miller was the director, and he's now I guess, the faculty member for that competition. And it was interesting that she mentioned that when she was marching, that Davis District would always beat them. And so that was the one team they could never quite beat. And so Davis actually came in fifth in that 6A Open thing. So it's just interesting to see how there's, these four great schools in Alpine District that have really been amazing in the things they do. So anyway, I just wanted to congratulate all of these schools. And I love marching bands because they're incredible. They include almost anyone who wants to participate. And the students have a unity because they learn to march together, and I just think it's amazing. So just wanted to report on that.
Any other reports from board members?
I just want to add to that a shout out to Lone Peak, who finished first in the 6A, and Lehigh, who finished third. In the
5A.
no, they were at 6A, Scholastic, and then I think that's all of them. Oh, no, it's not. Timpanogos finished third in the 4A.
Any other reports?
I do. So a week ago, I went to the motor teams PD on our district PD day, which is our occupational therapists, our physical therapists, and our adaptive PE teachers. And it is just phenomenal what they do. And as they were each kind of highlighting their work, it was fascinating to me to listen to our adaptive PE teachers and the process that they go through to make equipment and activities that are tailored to each of our students. Just really incredible, fantastic work. And so I just wanted to give the entire motor team a shout out for all that they do to support our students.
Superintendent.
Okay, thank you. Just want to take a minute to highlight student data. Again, Alpine by the numbers is something the board has talked about. Tonight I want to highlight concurrent enrollment. This is an important tool, not just for the learning that students experience, the great instructors that we have teaching those courses at our schools, but the partnership with higher ed. We'll talk a little bit about the tail end and the impact to families and tuition savings as we get through some of the student data. But bottom line up front, we have a steady increase or upward trend in both course participation and the number of concurrent enrollment classes that are taken in the district. Here you can see over the last 4 years, some of those highlights, 69,716 credit hours taken by Alpine students last school year. Here's broken down by high school, the number of college credit hours earned, and you can see that ranges based on the size of school, the number of students involved, but we have some schools with participation as high as nearly 11,000 credit hours earned. That's just phenomenal work, and we'll talk more about how that impacts savings and families down the road in the last slide. This one talks about the number of courses taken year over year, and you can see that steady increase year over year, the number of concurrent enrollment courses taken in Alpine. This is the number of courses taken year over year by each school. And if you look at each school, you see a significant increase with one exception, actually two, small decrease in Orem and Pleasant Grove. But those numbers continue to increase. Next slide. The percent of students enrolled in at least one course, pretty significant when nearly 50% of your students at our secondary schools are enrolled in a concurrent enrollment class. This is the number broken down by school, and you can see how that changes again over time. A slight decrease in this past year in many of the schools. Go to the last slide. This is the one I wanted to talk about. The estimated tuition saved for the students that have been successful in passing these courses, $18.2 million for last year. Just a significant amount of savings as students move into their post-high school education. And then the passing rate, another highlight here, you can see there was a small dip, but that overall trend over the last 4 years is an upward trend with nearly 98.5% of our students that take the courses pass the courses. So phenomenal work by students, phenomenal work by teachers, and those are some of the data points that just wanted to review with you this evening.
Thank you, Superintendent. Any other comments? All right, that is all the business that we have on our agenda this evening, and we need to entertain an adjournment with a roll call vote.
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
I second the motion.
We have a motion by Julie King and a second by Mark Clement. We'll go ahead and have a roll call vote.
Board Member Wilson, aye.
Joylyn Lincoln, aye.
Mark Clement, aye.
Emily Peterson, aye.
Sarah Beeson, aye.
Board Member King, aye.
Board Member Bateman, aye.
All right. We are now adjourned. Thank you.